Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be installing the boundary oil pump gears and billet crank sprocket in my 2021 Mach 1, but this will apply to any of you guys who have a 2018 or newer Mustang with the 5.0 who want to understand how to install the oil pump gears. So we're going to dive right into it. I'm going to show you some of the tools, some of the setup, and then we're going to throw the time lapse on and get right to wrenching. So step one of this project is actually going to occur from the back seat. We're going to remove the rear seat so we can get to the fuel pump. We're going to disconnect the power wire to the right-hand side of the fuel pump, start the car, let it run until it dies, and that will drain the fuel pressure from the system. So the trick here is to go in about midway of each seat, and there's actually, you'll feel right here, there's a little piece you can press on. So you take your hand, your thumb, you shove it in there, press it in. This side was harder to pop up than that side. If it's not coming up, you're probably not pressing the right spot, but you press it in and then the seat comes back. You do that on both sides and then this whole part just lifts up and out. All right, we've got the harness unplugged. Like I said, just press down the top, pull it out, and then you just leave your seat there. We'll go ahead, fire up the car now. So you have to move your seat back. And we'll fire it up, let it run until it dies. Not for long. Get all the fuel out. Okay. We might try and start it one more time, just to be safe. Okay. Fuel pressure is below. As I get into this, you're gonna see me going back and forth to the computer. And that's because I have a bunch of the step-by-step guides on how to do this. So you'll probably see me in the time lapse going back and forth. That's just to check the computer. We'll set up the time lapse now and we will start working on pulling everything off, starting with disconnecting the battery, removing the strut tower brace and the cowl. All right, it's a work night, so this is probably about as good as any place to stop. We've got the intake manifold off. So you could probably get away with removing less stuff, but what I'll say, having done a lot of this stuff before with other vehicles, don't sit there and fight things down the road because you didn't want to remove them before. That's my big tip. Okay, we got the driver passenger side valve cover off. There is one thing I do want to show you guys. Like I said, I have the step-by-step instructions from Ford, and this is not clearly pointed out. Let me show you something. So I had removed what I thought were all the bolts, right? And there's this nut right here that holds this shield on. So you gotta take this nut off, right? But then when you take the nut off, you gotta pry the shield off, and there's another bolt hidden underneath it. So valve cover off. This one's way easier. The only thing that makes it unique again is just make sure you take this nut off, pry this piece off, and there's another bolt underneath there to release it, and then it'll pop off. I took a dead blow hammer, just kind of tapped it to kind of break it loose from the RTV. You will need to pull out your dipstick. So there's like a little kind of tang on here right there. So you press that down and then you spin it and then it pops out. I want to show you something else though. This kind of sucks. I found my second coolant leak on my otherwise brand new car. So this clamp right here that goes to the degas bottle, as you can see, that one over there has a worm clamp on it because I found that one to be leaking right after I got the car. Surprise, surprise, this one's also leaking. So I'm gonna replace this, clean this all up, and put a worm clamp, like a stainless steel worm clamp on there. I don't like these things. So just keep an eye on that, guys, because especially if you're tracking your car, you could run into an issue where you're losing coolant. The next few steps are just gonna be getting yourself space to pull that front cover. Because this is a Gen 3, we will have to drop the oil pan, but my thought is I'm actually gonna wait on that until the end, because when you pull the water pump on these, you'll spill a lot of coolant out even though you've drained it. And I don't want to spill that coolant and have it run into the oil pan. So I really wanna get it all kind of emptied out first, and then one of the last things I'll do before I pull the cover is drain the oil first, of course, and then drop the pan. So we'll raise the car up now, and then we'll go ahead, drain the coolant, and drop it back down and start working on it again. I was about to lower the car down so I could undo the fill cap so drain faster. Kind of forgot that the valve covers were off. Oil's draining out right now. You guys got all weird last time in the comments when I changed oil in this thing, like, oh, you gotta follow the manual and you put the seal on dry. Fine, I'll follow the thing and I won't lubricate the seal, and I'll tighten it, and I'll do the 44 inch-pounds, which by the way is not very much. Divide it by 12, tell me what you get. So anyways, we'll do that so I can just avoid it in the comments. Here's a first for me. Brand new Mobil 1 filter, okay? Fresh out of the box. And I believe it's the right part number. I tried to get a Ford, a Motorcraft, but they didn't have them. Go to thread it on, doesn't thread on. Check the threads. It's 22 millimeter, same as the Ford. Look at the threads, they're not cut right. So you guys ever run into stuff like this and it's not threading on, stop. And I'm not gonna try and chase the threads on an oil filter. We're just gonna get another one, but that sucks. So just gotta remember before I fired it up that this thing doesn't have an oil filter in it. Okay, to break the monotony of the time lapse here. So basically, once you get the water pump pulley off, you're gonna be tempted to pull this off, but the instructions tell you to pull the tensioner off, which is one bolt. I think it's a 13 millimeter. And then I don't think I'm gonna disconnect the wiring on the alternator, but I am gonna undo the bolts and set that to the side. I don't know if this needs to come off or not. The last step is gonna be to undo the water pump. Now I know from watching other videos that when you do this, when you pop this out, coolant is gonna spill everywhere. So I would not recommend having your oil pan dropped at this time, because you would just get coolant potentially into your pan. The only thing that's open is I don't have an oil filter in it because, of course, I explained that earlier. But anyways, so we're gonna pull that off, pull this off. I'll probably put the camera back on when I pull this off so you can see the goosh of coolant go everywhere. Ah! I know what's wrong with it. Ain't got no coolant in it. Okay, now that you've made a very, very large mess, they do tell you to pull the crank pulley off first. Honestly, I'm gonna do that next, and I'll just hose it all off. I think you stretch the belt. You do need a special tool. I'll go show you that. We'll throw an impact on the crank bolt and see if we can break it loose. If not, I'll throw the car in gear. It's got no spark plugs in it, so it doesn't have much compression. But anyways, we'll see if we can break this loose with my Milwaukee impact, and then we'll grab the tool, pull this off, and probably go grab lunch. Here's the special puller that you'll need. So there's the part number, OEM Tools 25264 for these cars. And then you will need a longer bolt when it's time to draw it back on there. So we'll throw on the time lapse again, put this on. I put some anti-seize on the bolt, and then we'll tighten it down and hopefully pull the belt off and stretch that stupid stretch belt at the same time for the AC compressor. Ow, that almost hurt. All right, I won't bore you with the next part. Basically, this is a Gen 3 Coyote. So before I pull the front cover, you already have to pull the front, I think 4 bolts to the front cover, or to the oil pan to get the front cover off on any Coyote. But because it's a Gen 3, the way the oil pump pickup tube fits, I'm just gonna drop the whole pan. So I'm gonna lift the car up now, drop the pan. Not super exciting, but it has to be done. I hear some of the bolts are a pain, so we'll do that. We'll come back around front, we'll pull the cover. Once the cover's pulled, we'll stop, we'll talk about timing. All right, this part is by far the worst part, and I'll show you why. So that bolt right there on the passenger side. Basically what I'm gonna try and do, I've undone all the bolts and I've loosened that one as far as possible. And the trick that I will say is I took a ratcheting wrench, wrapped it up over the top of the wire loom, and the wire loom helped keep pressure on the bolt, and then I ratcheted it. But I left 1 or 2 threads in there. As you can see, it's detached from the front cover, but I don't know if it's detached enough. Okay, so let's talk rights and lefts. So right, as if you are sitting in the car, that would be the right-hand side, okay? Your right, passenger side is right, left is driver's side. Okay, so what you gotta do here is you have to locate the keyway. Now, in my case right here, the keyway is down where my fingers, you can't see it. So what they want you to do is rotate the engine until the keyway is at 12 o'clock. When the keyway is at 12 o'clock, you come over here to the right, the passenger side, and you want this R, this pointer here, to be straight up and down. If it's not, that's okay. Go back over here, rotate it around one more time, and that should bring it up to the top. And you're gonna do this side first. Okay. I would call that 12 o'clock. Now, unfortunately, the R is pointing down, so that's not what we want. So we're gonna go another full revolution here. So we've got her pointing up, 12 o'clock, right there. It's pointing up. Now it's, you know, it's like 11:45, right? But I think that's what you want. Now we'll take a flashlight, we'll go over and take a peek at the cams. So what you wanna make sure is that none, see, okay, if you look at these right here, right, you can see the lobe is up, so that's off, that's off. You wanna go around and make sure that you're not compressing. All of that work just to go boop. Okay, here's your oil pump. You're gonna remove all these Torx, set these aside, and your oil pump gears are in here. And when you reinstall it, you gotta line everything back up. So if you're curious, side by side, here's the stock gears. Now I've seen, you can see like a tiny little bit of wear. It's nothing that's even enough to grab a finger on or anything. And again, these things only have like 4,000 miles on them. So, but look, a little bit different design here, okay? So you've got the flat spot on the crank, and then you've got this here. Now on the boundary gears, it's machined flat all the way across. So I you know, it's almost like it grabs it better. A little more of a chamfering on the edge of the boundary gears versus the stock gears. And you can also tell too that some differences in just the way that the gears themselves are rotated. These are much larger. So just some things to consider when you're looking at the two. Again, billet here, stock cast on the left. Okay, we got those new gears in. We can say this side up on both of them. The key here is don't force them in, just kind of like let go with your hands and they'll just fall into place. It comes with some of this assembly lube, probably the same thing as what you would use if you're assembling a motor. It's kind of sticky and gooey, put that in there. I took a cap full of oil of the big 5 gallons, so maybe like 2 tablespoons. I think that's what Ford recommends. Pour it all in there. Get these things all lubed up, make sure there's no debris or anything in there. Then you'll go and put this on top. Now these bolts are tapered, and you just want to go in by hand first, real nice and easy, to get them to seat, real gentle before you go and torque them. You don't want to torque one and have the cover kinked, so just keep that in mind. So I had a little bit of camera trouble earlier, just a few things I want to reiterate. Basically, you saw me time the engine to 12 o'clock on the right-hand side, and I know I put it in red, but just please, 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 if you're following this video, make sure you got to then turn the crank until the keyway is pointing at 5 o'clock before you remove the left-hand side, you know, timing chain and tension, all that stuff. So just wanted to let you guys know that. But yeah, we've got basically the boundary oil pump gears are in the car now, started putting things back together. You are gonna have to hit pause and start cleaning because you gotta clean the timing cover. I recommend, you know, do as much as you can on the bench, but you will have to clean stuff inside the car. You also need to clean the bottom where the oil pan mounts to. So I started doing that. And then I got to a point basically where I got the oil pan with the sealants and, you know, just use some black RTV like this stuff. And I got it up underneath the car. And I'm gonna actually walk under there in a minute with a flashlight and make sure there's no leaks. We're gonna kind of cut the video for now. And we're gonna start reinstalling everything. As you can see, I've got, you know, some parts laid out here, a bunch of parts laid out over there, more parts over there. So it's putting everything back together, following all the instructions, torquing everything, making sure everything went in correctly. Yeah, hopefully in the next video that I do, you'll be able to see this thing fire up, and maybe we'll get it to dyno in the next video. We just got to see what the schedule's like. I'd love to see how much power it makes. And the next big thing obviously is the twin turbos, but we wanted to get those billet oil pump gears installed. We're not out of the woods yet. I'll feel much better when this thing starts up and it makes a little pressure. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you found this a useful video, and we will see you next time on Truck and Roll. Take it easy.